So on this challenge, the team are going to be facing a number of challenges. So the summit is around 6 times the height of the highest mountain in England. We're going to be walking for anywhere up to 12 to 14 hours a day, and there we'll have much less oxygen than what we'd have at sea level, and anything from -15 up to +30 degrees. It's really going to test us to our limits.
I wanted to do something big, something really exciting after 3 years of not travelling, and when the idea for Kilimanjaro came up, I just had to do it.
I just thought this is a phenomenal experience to, climb one of the tallest mountains in the world, and B, it's for such a good cause. If I can raise awareness and some funds as well to support youth mental health fall beyond, I thought, why not? All the stars have aligned.
Hello!
I've always wanted to travel, and I've just been saying to the team all day that I've never been outside of Europe.
There's a little bit of apprehension, but look, at the same time, that's exactly what these kind of challenges are designed for.
So I signed up with no hesitation at the time. However, the hesitation is now very much sinking in.
Half an hour.
We are at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. We are here getting ready to climb the mountain on behalf of Beyond Youth Mental Health Charity, and we're hoping to raise as much money as possible for them so that they can continue the amazing work that they do.
So Abraham is really here to give us a bit of a briefing as to what to expect. The number one priority on this trek is the safety of the team, and that comes above getting to the summit. So we've got a fantastic local support team of guides, cooks, porters. They are going to be helping to motivate us, to help us with logistics and achieve climbing Kilimanjaro.
We are at Machano Gates at the start of Kilimanjaro.
Excited?
Very.
So we're just finalising our permits and paperwork.
One of the things I really valued was the preparation. You could see that had been put into this before we even set foot in a plane.
This measures air pressure, and from that it tells you the altitude you're currently at.
Oh yes, I'm definitely going to feel that at the end of the day.
There's definitely a buzz. People are sort of, quietly sort of like anxious to get going and just enthused.
It's a nice group. We're all a bit of a mixture of excited, nervous, happy, worried, etc. But I think it's going to be a good group to go up with.
Going to the top, to the top, going to the top.
We have got 11 kilometres today, 1,200 metres of climbing, slow and steady, wins the race. Let's go.
Asante. God, that is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think what's going to be going through my mind as I experience challenges on the mountain is actually one of personal growth. I think that sometimes you have to put yourself into challenging positions to come out the other side stronger.
So we've just reached a picnic break. We're about halfway through day one, about 6k in. It's a nice cool temperature in the forest, and the spirits are high.
Here we have a sheepy. Comes with its own little camouflage case, or you can add your little extension tube. That goes under there.
We are beginning our acclimatisation process, and so it's really important that we take things slow and steady. We're going to be reaching about 3,200 metres, so that's quite a big leap up from where we were staying.
When I was younger, I did have some issues with my mental health. I didn't really look into it much. I wish I did reach out more when I was younger and talk about it.
So we've made it to our first camp. Just all had sat in the mess and had something to eat, and the buzz was just wonderful. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the challenge. Just feel really privileged to be with such a great group of people, and we're all really passionate about what we're doing for young people's mental health.
How have you found the first camp?
Oh, it's been brilliant. The food's amazing, the atmosphere is really good, everyone's happy at the moment. So yeah, it's cold, but it's nice.
I use the baby white deodorant and face cream.
This is the Kilimanjaro charging point.
getting ready for the elements, you know.
So as we leave behind the jungle and the foothills, the terrain is going to get a little bit steeper, so we'll be heading up a sharper gradient up to a location called the Shearer Plateau, and from there we'll have excellent views of the summit. It's going to be a steep day, but when we get up there, the views will be all worth it. We are maybe in need of picking up the pace a little bit, but the air's getting a little bit thinner. We need to adjust to that.
There's nothing I like more than turning my lungs inside out.
When you're able to sit down and take in the views, whatever aches and pains and doubts you've got just disappear.
So if you look down at the white building there, that's where we came from this morning. We're now probably about 40 minutes from camp.
Day 2, nailed it.
We're at 3,800 metres, higher than the three peaks combined. So some fair effort that. Well done, guys.
My mental health struggle started when I was about 11. It started out as depression and then suicidal thoughts crept in. That's when I knew it wasn't normal. So it's been constant for me all the way through my childhood, into adolescence, carried with me to uni. But it took me 10 years to reach out for the help that I needed. And if I'd known that there was support sooner, I might have got that help sooner.
How was that?
That was very
fun. Hey guys.
Hi guys. Morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
Good.
Preparing our breakfast?
Yes.
The sausage. Sausage.
Yeah.
Kuna Matata. Asante, guys.
Serve it.
Applying some suntan lotion to make sure the guns don't get burnt.
Feeling good. Some people are beginning to feel a bit of the altitude sickness, which is understandable.
Definitely the first hour is the hardest bit for me.
But everyone's pulling together and helping each other out.
Simon's been bashing out the tunes when we've needed that little boost.
I've worked through downloaded tracks and tried to come up with something which encapsulates the vibe.
We've got amazing guides. Definitely feel very grateful for all of these amazing people that are helping us get up this mountain.
I've climbed mountain 120. I love so much.
Yeah.
Mountain is like my home.
I depend on this job for everything. My children, they can go to school and they get everything they want.
This is the highest peak in Africa, and also it's a freestanding mountain in the world.
Feels good seeing the peak and actually walking towards it.
We're going up to Lava Tower, which it is 4,600.
I think I'm at my lowest. I've got a headache. I feel sick. My body's like exhausted. And at least for the last 15-20 minutes, I've just been focusing on one step at a time.
Do you want to take a minute?
Yeah, kind of sit down for a minute. Okay. Just recognised it was like tough, but I didn't really realise actually it was that tough.
Oli is having a slightly tougher day than most. There's a few different factors there which I'm looking at. I'm thinking about an altitude, he's not had the best night's sleep, and a bit of stomach trouble too. So these are all going to contribute to how he's feeling. Being open with each other as a team is one of the most important parts of expedition life.
Just gone through some pretty heavy going, dizzy spells outside. Had to put my head between my legs for a few minutes. Thought I was going to pass out. So I feel a little bit sort of emotionally raw at the moment, which happens when I go dizzy. Yeah, this is hard.
Just had the sudden realisation that I'm up a mountain, and if there's anything happening back home with family, there's nothing I can do about it. So I had this sudden kind of feeling of being a bit anxious and feeling almost kind of trapped. This is a bit scary.
It's very steep. A lot of the rocks are very unstable. So you just got to... Oh. Okay.
Mental health matters to me because I have my own mental health struggles. And I think when I was younger, I really wish there'd have been an opportunity to speak about those.
In normal life, I'm a massive overthinker. I have a lot of demons. And on this trip, I've kind of let go of all of that. Oh, it's off my dad! It says, "Hi Ollie, following your route via Explorer website. Great to be able to see exactly where you're taking my daughter this week. Have a relaxing afternoon." There's nothing relaxing about it. Hurrah! Squat down so you get it in your bum.
Oh yeah.
We're doing some stretching. It's also been known as yoga.
Hello. Hello. Good morning, how are you? Time for wake up.
The hardest part of the challenge for me is the ongoing mental battle that I'm having. I questioned why I was doing it, and then I remembered why I was doing it, and that's what spurs me on.
Yeah, yesterday was a very tough day. In fact, I felt that for the first time, I actually felt mentally quite broken, and that's actually quite, luckily, unusual for me.
Just make sure you've got plenty of water, sun cream on, and maybe some snacks to hand as well would be good. First interesting section, of course, is the barranco wall, and you can actually see the path just behind the hut.
We are at the top of Barranco Wall. It's very nice, as you can see. It's just like the ocean of the clouds.
Graham and I have decided that as long as it's safe to continue, then we'll continue. And so we might not both make it to the summit, and that will be okay because we'll just be so incredibly proud of each other.
Breathing in general I'm finding quite difficult.
So far I don't want to jinx it, but I'm loving it.
I'm glad that we've gone for the 7-day option, just give ourselves a bit more time.
We're there.
We're all like a bit sleep deprived, physically, mentally, emotionally exhausted. It's not a challenge that can be underestimated, and it's definitely given me a new sense of respect for people who have done it.
It's probably the coldest morning we've had. We've got some frost on the tents, some ice on the ground, so everybody's got an extra layer on.
As mad as it seems, putting factor 50 on. As well as thermal underpants, work that one out.
Today is a big day because we have a hike this morning to our next camp, then we're going to sleep in the afternoon, and then we're hitting the summit tonight at about midnight. So I'm a bit concerned because it's going to be our toughest challenge so far.
As we were walking, I think I could just feel it building up. Aldi West just said to me, "Oh, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." It's sometimes just that question that makes everything come out, but I feel a lot better for it.
Oh.
We've just arrived at the last camp, and that has been the hardest bit for me. Really, really tough. Very emotional and shit.
There's this huge gap of young people whose needs are just not being met, and that's where charities like Beyond step in and they fill those gaps.
Prep your bag in your tent and have that ready to go. Head torches, so you may want to put the fresh batteries in. We can't really have enough layers on this. It is going to be very cold up there, as cold as -15 with the wind chill.
Peak is the fact that we've been able to see where we're going pretty much the whole day.
So right before we got to this camp, I was looking at the mountain thinking, that ain't too far. I can totally do that. And then the pit was right after that. I got into the camp and started just feeling terrible, like headache and dizzy and stuff like that. So it's amazing how quickly it can change. One possible additional source of motivation is here. You've all got a letter. Chris?
Oh.
Thank
you, Johnny.
Okay guys, we're setting off in less than 3 hours, so I'm gonna just try and get a little bit of shut-eye. But everything's packed, and we're just gonna give it our very best shot. Night-night.
It is 10 to midnight and we are about to set off for the summit push towards the top of Kilimanjaro. Nice and easy, go well. We've got about 1,200 metres to climb to reach the roof of Africa, and we'll be supported with our summit porters and local guides.
How are you doing, Phil?
I'm okay, it's just the breathlessness.
Oli West seems to be struggling a little bit, and that's one of my concerns, so I'm keeping a close eye on him.
Oh, it's a smile on his face.
Just about, mate.
We're making really good progress. It's coming up to about 5 AM, so we're on track to reach Stella Point for sunrise. We're certainly feeling the effects of the altitude now.
For the first time, my legs are actually weak.
Oli is starting to struggle, and unfortunately, due to his exhaustion, the decision's been made he's going to have to go back to camp. We've assigned him one of the local guides. He's going to take him safely back to camp, get rehydrated, rest up.
He helped me down the mountain, but when he saw that I was slipping and sliding because my legs had turned to jelly, he put his arm round mine. He did say something quite sort of wise. He said, the mountain will always be there and you don't have to do it now. You know, you can wait and you can try again. And I think I realised in that moment that I'd made the right decision.
Everyone has mental health in exactly the same way everyone has physical health, and therefore makes me think even more how important it is to do work raising either awareness or ultimately helping those who have difficulties with their own mental health.
That was my drinking water, and now the tube's frozen. But the good juice. So we've got some sugary liquid and we're cooking on gas again for another 5 minutes.
Infinity and beyond.
All the people that have donated to the charities, that's what spurs me on.
Beyond. Team have done it.
We made it. Everybody's just gelled so well that this is our mountain family.
It's actually encouraged me to improve my own physical health and look after myself.
I think that was what a lot of us really valued, is feeling reassured and feeling safe. When you feel safe, you can actually have fun.
It's all about helping beyond, helping them in their mission.
We need to look after the next generation who's got to look after this planet, who's got to continue. And I think we owe it to them to make the world a better place for them.
The team are absolutely phenomenal. So proud of them.
Love and beyond.
Amazing.
I think beyond it belongs in this day and age.
I think the memory of not making the summit is actually going to fade, but the memories of the general connections you make with people, I think and hope that those will last.